Hi, I'm Kate Watt and welcome to part 2 of our Upcycled gardening workshops for children. This is my son Ned, who's going to be joining in the workshop today and helping me with it. Today we're using a milk bottle, the sort of thing that nearly all of us have in our recycling box, and this is the sort of thing we're going to make. This is one I made yesterday. Ned, however, would like to make his into a fish, so it lends itself to a face beautifully in this space. However, there's no reason why you have to go with a human face. Ned would like his to be a fish. Let's have a look at how we do that. First thing we're going to do, big kids you can do this yourself, little kids you'll need somebody to help you, is cut the top off the milk bottle. So that's this part up here. And any pair of sharp scissors will do that quite easily. So we're just going to cut that around. Now I do hope that you've washed your milk bottle first, or you might end up finding this job gets a bit messy and smelly. So do give your milk bottle a good rinse first. This part makes a really good paint tray. This is what we used yesterday for painting this one. We'll put that aside for now. Ned, do you want to hold that? Now, before I hand this over to Ned, what we're going to do is hang it up. It's a lot easier to work on if it's hung up. So you can see we've got some string here to hold it up. Now to do that, I'm going to put 4 little holes around. Now you've got to do it a fair way from the top, because if you accidentally go too far, you don't want it to cut all the way up. Now again, this is a job for a grown-up. But it's a pretty easy job. Now that we've got 4 holes, we've got some string. And we're just going to thread the string through the hole to be able to hang it up. I'm going to string it through a couple of times just for extra security so that the string doesn't really slip. Then run the string along to this hole. Thread it through here as well. Now, if I was doing a face like that one there, then that would be the only cuts that I would make to the bottom. However, because Ned wants a fish, we've already had a chat about how this is going to work, and we've decided that we would like to put some fins on our fish to make it a bit more fishy. So I am going to make some extra cuts in this milk bottle to be able to add some fins. Now we've already cut out some pieces of plastic. We're using plastic, not paper, because it needs to be able to get wet. But it can be painted so it won't look like this. And we've just used old trays that you would have in the recycling. So once again, these are projects that you can do just with things that you have at home already. So we don't want you having to go and buy new materials, because that's not upcycling. Ned, what colour would you like your fish to be?
Orange.
So how do we make orange if we haven't got orange paint?
Red and yellow?
That's exactly right. Red and yellow together will make orange. So if we mix some red and yellow paint, we'll get orange. Do you know how to make skin colour paint if you wanted a skin colour like this? It's pretty orange really, isn't it? So skin colour is red and yellow with more red than yellow and a whole lot of white. You can add a little bit of blue to make it a darker skin colour. Okay, so now we've got our 4 pieces like this. If I bundle that like this and tie it up, we can hang it here on this hook that I've got ready. Now the whole thing is actually a little bit easier to work on if we can weight it down. Now we'll tidy those strings up later. Oops, our hook's not quite high enough, so I'll just hook it up this way. There we go. The whole thing's a lot easier to work on if we weight it down. So, Ned, would you like to just add a small handful of rocks into the bottom, please? Now the reason that we put some rocks into the bottom gives it a little weight, so it stays a bit more steady for us. a few more. And it also helps with drainage so that the water can all flow to the bottom. Now you'll see when I water this one, we're going to unscrew the cap to let the water drain out. So we've got to make sure it all comes to the bottom. Now you can see with those rocks in, it's standing nice and straight. To make some slits to put our fins in, we've got one tail fin and two side fins here. I'm going to put a little slit on each side. About this height, you reckon, Ned?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So I've got to put a little hole with the scissors, and then I can cut down just enough to be able to poke our fin piece in, which will work like, oh, I haven't cut it quite long enough yet, a little bit longer. Now you can see we have a flap here. That flap goes to the inside, like that. Now while we have nothing in it, we can put some sticky tape or a bit of glue or something inside to hold that together. So I'm going to get Ned to do that job. Ned, we actually have some tile glue on the floor over here. Do you want to grab that bucket so you can glue that in? And now not everybody has tile glue. You could just use some tape or whatever you have. This is probably easier if it's laying down flat to put these slits into it. So I probably should have done this step before I hung it up. However, that's all right. And once we've glued them down, we will, oh gosh, this one doesn't want to cut for me. Never does what you want on the spot when you want it, does it? There we go. Slip this one in a little bit longer. Slip this one in and we'll be able to glue that one as well. Now, once this whole thing comes together, it will be held together nicely with the soil inside of it, so which will really help, and it will all be painted. Now Ned, what I'm going to get you to do is scoop up a little bit of this tile glue from the bucket with this and put it inside, okay, and press those down. You right to do that? Okay, and then we've got a tail one to do on the back as well, and you'll see how the shape of the fish comes together. But you can choose any animal that suits you, or more simply just do a face like this one. Now in this case what we've done here is we've used some material wrapped around the top. That just makes it a bit of fun. This is a piece of old dress that I've cut up and some earrings that I've added just for a bit of bling and a bit of fun. It's entirely up to you how you want to decorate yours. But that's what I chose for mine. In this case, we have put in some ivy. Now this will hang down really nicely like hair in this particular one. But you don't have to choose something that hangs down. You can choose something that sticks straight up if you like. After all, spiky hair works too, doesn't it? For Ned's one, we're going to use mint because Ned really likes eating mint. So we're going to grow some mint into this one. How's that? Oh, that's a great job you've done. That will stay in there now. I'm going to get you to start painting this now, okay? And we'll add in the tail a bit later on. Now to paint this, just pop that here for now because you'll need that shortly. To paint this, we're going to use red paint because we want to make orange. So we need a big squirt of red. And we need lots of paint because we've got to put it all over. We want a nice big squirt of yellow. The yellow's running out a bit, but we've still got lots and lots of yellow here, so that's enough. But I also found some silver paint, so I'm going to try adding in a bit of silver just for a bit of extra fun to see what happens and make it a little bit shiny for a fish. Okay, Ned, away you go. Get painting and have fun with painting your fish. When he's finished painting it, we'll look at drawing or painting on eyes. You can see you can draw them on. It doesn't have to be painted. Now I've only given this one coat of paint, but you can certainly give it more than one coat if you're not entirely happy or you want to be a bit fussier about what you put in. Let's look at some of, a bit more yellow, be a bit more orange to that, but have fun with it. Let's look at some of the plant choices. We've chosen mint because we like eating it. It's a lot of fun in your projects if you can add plants that you can eat. However, edible plants don't always lend themselves to where we hang these things. This one's going to be hung on the veranda where it's a bit shady, so the mint won't get enough light to grow. Ned's one will hang somewhere outside where it gets a lot more sun and the mint gets enough light to do well. The great thing about these planters is we can control how wet or dry they are. Mint likes a lot of water, so we don't need to open the bottom to drain it very often. Ivy, on the other hand, likes to be just a little on the dry side, so I will drain that a little bit more often. This mint will grow up and then it will cascade down. It probably won't get overly big because Ned will be constantly nibbling at it and it won't get the chance to get too big. But that's all part of the fun as well. Now looking at this one here, how do we care for plants in this planter head? I haven't yet watered this one in. I'm going to do that now and show you what's involved. I've got a little bit of sea salt here which I'm adding to our water so that we can give it a little bit of a hurry along. Often when we are putting things, we only need a little bit, not very much. You can use worm tea or compost tea or anything like that that you have. You can see the colour of the water. When we're putting plants into containers, we usually break the roots when we put them in. We're squishing and shoving to make them go in. So we want to encourage those roots to grow back, and putting a little bit of sea salt is a good way to do that. Now these planters will get a bit heavy as you fill them up with water. There's a lot of space in here. After all, it's a 3-litre milk bottle, so there's lots of room. So I'm just carefully and gently, a few drips, add a little bit of mess, which is why we've got an old tablecloth, so it doesn't matter how much mess we make. And you can see it takes quite a lot of water to wet this fully through. But that's okay. It's probably enough now. When this water has soaked all the way through, we can drain out the stuff that's not needed when we've got too much in there. If we were to leave too much water in the bottle, it would get too wet and our plant would rot. So to undo it, just unscrew it. Just a little bit, not enough for everything to fall out. I've got a container here to catch the drip, so obviously wherever you hang this, it does matter that you can empty it out. Pick it up and take it outside to drain the water out, or if it's outside it doesn't really matter. But we can just leave that open now for a few minutes to be able to just fully drain through. I've got a tin underneath here so I can catch that water and use that elsewhere. But you can have a lot of fun experimenting with the different plants that you've got in your garden to put into your head. See what's in the old jewellery drawer that nobody wears anymore. Remember to ask permission first. Never use something that you don't have permission to use. But that can also be fun to put in some old jewellery on there. I would probably recommend a second coat of paint at some point so that it doesn't get too worn off. I'll get round to that. But again, have fun with your planter. And remember, whichever plant you choose, you've got to think about whereabouts it's going to go. How much sun does it need? Because we have a lot of soil space in here, we can grow things that like to get quite big. So for example, what we've used here with our shoes, these plants don't need much space for their roots. Here we can grow things that do need a lot of space. If I were to grow the mint in the shoe, it wouldn't grow because it doesn't have enough room to grow. But by putting it in here, it's got lots and lots of space to fill up with roots, and the bigger and stronger those roots are, the bigger our plant is going to be and the healthier and happier it's going to be. So, ask Mum and Dad for help, have a lot of fun making up your own creatures, your own styles and designs, and exploring what you can do with different plants in them. And we're going to go and give Ned some time to finish this. Once he's finished painting it, we'll draw on some nice big eyes and decorate it a little bit that way.
go and have fun making your own recycled head planter. Bye kids.